Hello, and welcome to Early Access version 0.1 of WebHost Simulator. My name is Morpheus, and today I'm going to guide you on setting up your company, setting up your first server, and to start taking orders. To start off, we're going to select New. I'm going to type in Tutorial in both boxes. It doesn't matter what you put here, and click Start. This will bring you to the world map. Left click will rotate the map, uh, as you can see here. Scroll wheel will zoom in and out. I'm going to zoom in here and I'm going to select Salt Lake City. Of course, I don't live here. And we're going to click Start Game. Small apartment is not currently available, but should be available in a future update. And we're going to select Go to Data Center. WASD will move you around the world. Left click will open the door. And then if you select any one of these three screens, it doesn't matter. It will open up a desktop just like your normal computer. Clicking and holding on the right mouse button will exit back out. So we're going to go in. We're going to open up Flybird. And first things first, we're going to click on Control Host. Go to Company. We're going to type in Store. For the company name, I'm going to select this image. I'm going to click Save. If you click Escape, or press Escape on your keyboard, and click Missions, this will tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get everything set up. There are some minor discrepancies, but I will guide you through on your way to get you set up with a functioning server without any problems. So next thing is we're going to click on the carrier page. I'm going to select the 5 gigabits. And then we will move into register. Again, of course I dropped my mouse. Again, tutorial. Click check. If it says available, click flag. And then we need to register our IP block. I'm going to do the /18. You can do whatever one you want. I'm going to go ahead and pause here. I'm going to take note of my IP address, which you should as well, and then we will move along. Okay, I have taken note of my IP address, and we will go ahead and move on to the next step. We're going to go ahead and access shop. We'll need the 42U rack, a server, 24 port switch, Ethernet cable, transceiver, fiber cable, and the coupler patch panel. You should have 7 items. You click on the shopping cart. We're going to scroll down until we see the Ethernet cable and click the arrow up to 2. That will give us 2 Ethernet cables, and we can click checkout. This will put the items in our inventory, and we'll head to the server room. I'm going to go ahead and turn the lights on using the switch next to the door. Pressing tab will open up your inventory, and we're going to select the rack. When your crosshair turns from a dot to a dot with a circle, you're going to click, and it will place the rack. You can press not AS and D, I'm sorry. Press A and D, and it will move the rack from side to side. I'm going to get it as close to the wall, and then just left click, and it will snap into place. Next, I'm going to add the port, or the switch, the 24 port switch. So we'll select that from inventory, and then just the same crosshair there. So click on the rack and it'll place it in. Press W to move it up, D to move it down. and then left click to place it. Next, I'm going to add the coupler, same thing. And then I'm going to add the server. So just select the server, add it to the rack. Next thing I'm going to do is add the transceiver to the switch. And then the fiber cable to the transceiver, and as you can see, it automatically attached to the router. Next, we'll add the Ethernet cable. I'm going to do it from the back first. You can do it from the front first. It doesn't matter. I'm going to add it to port 1, and then to the first port on the server. And then we will add port 1 on the panel and the switch. That connects the server to the network. So we will then let me out. We'll go back into the NOC. And we will go to our DC control. And as you can see, there's the switch and the server. We're going to click console on the switch. Type in interface. This will show you the interfaces for your switch. The server being connected to ETH0. We're going to type set ETH0. And then we're going to type in the IP address that we typed in earlier. Keep in mind, if you put in the /18 that you noted from when you purchased your IP address, it will give that server every single IP address that you purchased. We don't want that. We want to be able to use IP addresses for other servers. So I'm going to put /30. This will give us 4 IP addresses for the server. The first of which is the host address, the last of which is the broadcast address, and the other 2 are actual 2 usable IP addresses, as you will notice here. So the first IP address that will be assigned to our server that is usable will be .1. Now that we have an IP address assigned to the server, we can access the console for the server itself, and we can type in package install HTTP server. This will take a few seconds to install for every single one of the packages that you have to install, which you can see from here. Once all of these packages are installed, we will continue. I'm going to go ahead and pause after this is finished and then install the rest of the packages, and I will be right back. Okay, all of the packages are now installed. As you can see, one of the last packages I installed is something called vServer. I'm not going to go into details of this server. It's not in the context of this tutorial. Just know that when you go to set up servers for your VPS, or when you go to sell VPS, the server that you intend to sell VPS for will need the vServer package installed. So there's that. One of the few issues that I was having when I first started playing was that I would go to set up or go to publish the company page, and it would tell me that I wasn't able to because of something's not working. Come to find out, the HTTP server was not running. So before we continue, you'll want to run the server, and to do that, you'll just type in HTTP server, and it is now running. And you'll want to do this for the database as well, the DNS server, and the mail server. Now that those packages are running, we can go ahead and continue on to our next step, and that is setting the domain and IP address on control host. So we'll go ahead and go there. Click company. The domain is tutorial.whs, and the IP address is the first usable IP address that the console gave us. So we're going to type in 73.172.0.1. You type in .0, it's not going to function. And we're going to click save. The next step is then to go to register. Register. Okay. We're now going to click on dashboard. This will bring us to our dashboard. If we click on my domains, you can see the domain. If you click on my IPs, you can see your IP address. We're going to go to the domain and we're going to click DNS. We're going to click new. We're going to type at. And we're going to type the IP address that we typed in earlier. So 73.172.0, whoops, 0.1, and click save. That is now the DNS record set up. So going to go back to control host, and we're going to set up a package. This is our first package. The new, you can type in whatever name you want. I'm going to just type in bronze. We're going to select a dedicated server. I'm going to do, you can essentially set whatever price you want. I'm going to set a monthly price of, let's say $75. Do a setup fee of $15. If you want unlimited quantity, you can do -1. I'm going to set a quantity of 1 just for the purpose of this tutorial. You can always go back into this package later and add more quantity whenever you're ready. Time to delivery under 6 hours. Again, it doesn't matter. Recurring discount. We'll say 2% discount on quarter, 10% discount on. We'll change that to 5. We'll do 5 for quarter, 10 for half a year, and we'll do 25% discount for a full year. That's the server there. We'll set the bandwidth to, let's say, 500 megabits per second because it's unmetered. And then again, the CIDR mask that I was describing earlier, you can see it here as well. So /30 is 4 total IP addresses, 2 usable. And then 29 is 8 with 6 usable. Excuse me, 27 will get you 32 with 30 usable. And 24 will get you 256 total IP addresses with 254 usable. 24 is what is typically used on your router at home. I'm going to set it for /30. Now that it's set for /30, we're going to leave it for active and we'll click save. This gives us our first package. Go back and check. The last thing to do is to publish the company website. And as you can see, if you follow this guide correctly, everything should light up. We'll go ahead and click publish, and that is that. You'll notice the first order, the only order that will show up because I only set the quantity as 1. And we'll click view, and it will give you details. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. I'm going to use another screen. We'll order another server. We will order 2 more Ethernet cables. And that should be it. So we're going to set up 2 and then purchase. We'll go ahead and close out of that. We're going to go back in here. We're going to set up another server. So we're going to add our server to the rack. And then we're going to come around the back. We're going to add the Ethernet cable. This one is going to go in port 2. Again, the first port on the server. And that's the server connected to the patch panel. We'll select patch panel port 2 and port 2 on the switch. And that puts us back here. So we're going to open this up, go to DC control. You can see the new server connected. We're going to need to go into the switch interface. You now see the second server connected, but we don't have an IP. So we're going to set the IP for it. To do that, we're going to do set ETH1 to our IP address 73172.0. And because .0 was already assigned to ETH0, as seen up here, and we use /30, we'll have the next usable IP address that we can give the server is .4. And we're again /30. This will give us 4 IP addresses, 2 of which are usable. We're going to take the .4 address that we just put on here, and this is what is going to go over to our order here. We're going to type in IP address 73.172.0.4/30. And then click deliver. And if done correctly, the order should be successfully delivered and you've completed all of your missions. Congratulations, you are now a web host.